Have you ever noticed that sometimes a man does not need to say a single word for you to feel that something has changed? You are sitting across from him, maybe you are having dinner together, maybe you are simply talking after a long day. Then, without warning, he makes one tiny movement that almost seems accidental. His fingers lightly touch his neck. He adjusts the front of his shirt. He slowly runs a hand through his hair. Before your mind understands what happened, your body reacts first. Your heartbeat changes for a second. Your breathing becomes a little deeper. You quietly wonder, why did that affect me? The interesting part is that these moments are rarely random. People often express attraction through silent signals instead of words. Tiny movements, natural habits, and unconscious gestures can reveal emotions that someone never says out loud. When a man truly likes someone, his feelings often appear through body language long before they appear in conversation. Attraction is usually quiet. It hides inside simple actions that happen without planning. Even when someone is trying to stay calm, confident, and completely in control, the body sometimes tells a different story. That is why you might notice him adjusting his collar when you walk into the room. You may see him rubbing the back of his neck while speaking to you. On the surface, it looks like he is only fixing his clothes or getting comfortable. But many times, these small actions happen because his body is responding naturally to the emotions he feels around you. His hands begin doing things his words never admit. That is what makes body language so fascinating. Stay with me, because the next few signals become even more surprising, and one of them is often missed by almost everyone watching. Of course, not every little movement means someone is secretly attracted to you. People touch their face, adjust their clothes, or move their hands for many ordinary reasons every day. That is why it is important not to judge one gesture by itself. Instead, pay attention to patterns. Watch what happens when you are close to him compared with how he behaves around everyone else. Does he suddenly become more aware of himself? Does he straighten his posture? Does he smooth out his shirt or fix his sleeves without thinking? These are the small details that quietly tell a much bigger story. The human mind tries to stay logical, but emotions often appear through habits that happen automatically. Sometimes he is simply trying to calm his nerves. Sometimes he wants to look his best without realizing he is doing it. And sometimes he is trying to hide how strongly he feels, but his body keeps revealing little clues anyway. That is why silent moments can be more powerful than long conversations. Instead of focusing only on his messages or wondering why he has not made the first move yet, pay attention to how he acts when he is standing right in front of you. Real feelings often appear there first. His hands, his posture, and his tiny unconscious movements can quietly reveal what his mouth never says. Keep watching carefully, because the first body signal we are about to explore is one of the strongest and most interesting signs that someone feels a genuine pull toward you, even if he never says a single word. The first signal is the neck. It may sound simple, maybe even too ordinary to matter, but stay with me because the reason behind it is surprisingly interesting. When a man touches his neck while talking to you, maybe he rubs the back of it, adjusts his collar, or lightly slides his fingers along the side, he is often doing much more than just moving out of habit. That small action can be an unconscious reaction. The neck is one of the most sensitive and unprotected parts of the body. It is filled with important nerves and blood vessels, and it sits close to the voice, the way we express ourselves. Naturally, people protect areas that make them feel exposed. When someone feels uncomfortable or guarded, their posture often changes without them noticing. Their shoulders rise, their chin drops, and the neck becomes less visible. But when a man feels comfortable around someone who catches his attention, his body often responds differently. Instead of closing off, he relaxes. Touching his neck becomes a quiet sign that his guard is coming down. It is almost as if his body is saying, "I feel different around you." Picture this. You are standing close together talking about something simple like weekend plans or a funny memory. He is smiling, listening carefully, and then his hand slowly reaches toward his neck. He gently rubs the side of it, looks away for just a second, and then meets your eyes again. That tiny moment may not be random at all. It can be a natural response to feeling both excited and slightly nervous at the same time. Keep watching because the next signal becomes even more surprising. Many people notice these little moments without understanding why they stand out. A man touching his neck can make him seem more genuine and approachable. For a brief second, the confident image drops and you see something more real underneath. That is often why these quiet gestures leave a stronger impression than loud words ever could. Of course, context always matters. If he is anxious, stressed, or simply uncomfortable, he may touch his neck to calm himself. One gesture alone never tells the whole story. Instead, notice what happens around it. Is he smiling naturally? Is his body turned toward you? Does he lean in when you speak? Does he hold eye contact and seem fully present? When these signs appear together, the meaning becomes much clearer. Another interesting detail is when the movement happens. Sometimes it comes right after you tease him in a playful way, give him a sincere compliment, or simply hold eye contact a little longer than expected. Suddenly, his hand moves to his neck, almost on its own. It is a quick reaction that says more than words ever could. So the next time you notice a man doing this around you, do not rush to fill the silence. Simply observe. Small gestures often reveal feelings that people are trying their best to keep hidden. And now there is another signal that is even more subtle, one that many people completely overlook. It involves the lips, and once you understand it, you may begin noticing it everywhere. The lips are one of the most expressive parts of the human face. They help us speak, smile, laugh, and show emotion, which is why they naturally draw attention during conversations. When someone feels attracted to another person, tiny unconscious movements often appear around the mouth. A man may lightly brush his lips with his fingers, gently bite them, touch the corner of his mouth with his thumb, or even pause with a cup or glass near his lips for a little longer than usual. Most of the time, he is not planning to do it. These actions happen automatically because his attention is focused on the connection he feels. It is not always about physical attraction alone. The lips are closely linked to emotion, expression, and closeness. When he touches them while talking to you, it may simply mean he is becoming more comfortable and less focused on controlling every movement. Imagine you are sitting across from him having coffee or sharing dinner. You tell a funny story that makes him laugh for real. As the laughter settles, he briefly touches his lips, smiles quietly, or lets his thumb pass across the corner of his mouth. It lasts only a second, but those little reactions can reveal genuine interest. Now notice one more detail. If his eyes naturally drift toward your lips while he touches his own, that can be part of a silent mirroring response. People often mirror the movements of someone they feel connected to without even realizing it. It is one of the quiet ways attraction can appear before a single word is ever spoken. Stay with me because the next body signal is even more revealing, and very few people ever notice it in the moment. It is almost like the brain quietly says, "I feel connected to you. I want to stay close." Of course, not every time a man touches his lips means romance or attraction. Sometimes it is simply nervous energy or a natural habit. That is why timing matters more than the gesture itself. If it happens during a quiet moment, after warm eye contact, following a genuine compliment, or right after the two of you share real laughter, the meaning can become much stronger. In those moments, he is not thinking about moving his hand. His body is simply reacting before his mind has time to step in. That is what makes this signal so interesting. It is quiet, natural, and difficult to fake. A man who lightly touches his lips while looking at you may be revealing exactly where his attention is without speaking at all. His actions begin to say what his words are still trying to hide. The next time you are together, notice the order of things. Watch where his eyes naturally go. Pay attention to his hands. Then notice what happens around his mouth. Sometimes the most honest conversations happen in complete silence. Stay with me because the next signal reveals something just as powerful. And once you notice it, you will begin seeing it everywhere. It is one of those small habits that quietly appears when someone truly wants to make a good impression. Imagine the two of you standing together waiting for your drinks or talking after work. The conversation is easy. You say something that makes him smile, and almost immediately his hand moves toward his hair. He runs his fingers through it, smooths it back, adjusts a few strands, or brushes the side of his head. If his hair is short, he may lightly touch the back of his head or slide his fingers near his sideburns. At first, these actions seem meaningless, but they often reveal much more than people realize. He is usually not fixing his hairstyle because something is wrong with it. Instead, he is naturally becoming more aware of how he looks. People often do this around someone who catches their attention. It is a quiet form of grooming that happens without planning. When someone feels attracted to another person, they often want to appear their best without even noticing they are trying. That is why these tiny adjustments happen. They are less about appearance and more about connection. If he keeps doing it while talking with you, there is a good chance you have his full attention. Keep watching because another detail makes this signal even stronger than most people expect. There is another movement that often appears with it. Sometimes his fingers slowly travel along his jawline or chin while he listens to you. He may lightly rub the edge of his face or pause with his hand there for a moment before smiling again. This is not always about thinking or grooming. It can also be an unconscious way of drawing attention to features that make him feel confident. When people are around someone they genuinely like, they become more aware of themselves. Their posture improves. Their shoulders naturally straighten. Their movements become calmer and more intentional. Instead of rushing through the moment, they become fully present. If he gently touches his jaw while holding eye contact, there is often a quiet balance between confidence and curiosity. It is almost as though he is wondering how you see him while enjoying the conversation at the same time. The interesting part is that these habits rarely appear around people he feels completely indifferent toward. If there is no emotional spark, his body usually stays relaxed and neutral. But if you notice him fixing his hair, adjusting his shirt, and brushing his jaw all within the same conversation, pay attention. Those are often natural signs that he wants to leave a positive impression. So instead of overthinking every little movement, simply enjoy the moment. Sometimes the strongest attraction is not loud or dramatic. It quietly says, being around you makes me want to show the best version of myself. Now let's talk about something that reveals even more than facial expressions: a man's hands. His words can be carefully chosen, but his hands often speak without permission. They reveal emotion, direction, confidence, and intention all at once. Think about the people you have met. Some speak with open hands, moving naturally as they explain a story. Others keep their hands hidden in their pockets or constantly play with small objects nearby. These patterns are rarely random. When a man feels relaxed and comfortable around you, his hands usually become more open. He may rest them calmly on the table, gesture naturally while speaking, or lightly tap his fingers as he listens. These are signs that he feels present and at ease. But when attraction quietly enters the picture, his hands often begin doing something different. They become small messengers for feelings he is trying to control. He might rub his forearm, trace his wrist with his fingers, or slowly move his thumb across the back of his hand. There is one more quiet signal that many people overlook, yet it can reveal a lot about what someone is feeling. It happens when a man touches the lower part of his face while talking with you. Maybe his fingers rest on his chin. Maybe he slowly brushes his jawline or lightly touches the area around his mouth. At first, it may seem like he is simply thinking or resting his hand there without any meaning. But these small actions can sometimes be a natural way for the body to stay calm during an emotionally engaging moment. Think of it as a grounding habit. When someone is deeply focused on another person, their body often looks for small ways to release that extra energy while staying composed. Imagine you are telling him a story. You are smiling, speaking naturally, and completely relaxed. He is listening carefully without interrupting. His eyes stay on you, and after a few moments, his hand slowly moves to his chin. He gently rubs along his jaw or lets one finger rest near his lips. It does not necessarily mean he is distracted. In many cases, it can show that he is completely absorbed in the conversation. His body is quietly balancing excitement with self-control. Stay with me, because one small detail makes this signal even more meaningful than it first appears. The lower part of the face is closely connected with expression and communication. It is where we smile, speak, laugh, and show emotion. Because of that, people naturally touch this area when they are processing feelings or paying close attention. When a man's hand stays near his chin or around his mouth while looking at you, it may be more than a random habit. It can be an unconscious sign that he feels engaged in the moment and wants to stay connected. There is another interesting difference to notice. If he slowly strokes his chin while keeping relaxed eye contact, it often gives the impression of confidence and thoughtful attention. He seems calm, interested, and fully present. But if his fingers briefly cover part of his mouth or lightly brush his lips, the feeling can become softer. It may suggest that he is carefully holding back a reaction or thinking about what to say next. Neither movement proves attraction by itself, but when these gestures appear together with warm eye contact, genuine smiles, open posture, and comfortable conversation, they become much more meaningful. That is why looking at the full picture is always more important than focusing on one single action. Keep watching, because the final message ties all of these signals together. One of the most interesting moments is when this gesture appears right after you say something that truly catches his attention. Maybe you share a personal story, make him laugh in a genuine way, or say something thoughtful that surprises him. For a brief second, his expression changes. His eyes stay on you, and almost without realizing it, his hand moves toward his chin or jaw. It is as if his body needs a moment to process what he just felt. Those tiny pauses often say far more than quick words ever could. Attraction is not always loud. It does not always appear through grand romantic gestures or obvious compliments. Sometimes it lives inside the smallest movements that happen before a person even realizes they are making them. That is why paying attention to body language can completely change the way you understand a conversation. Instead of only listening to what someone says, notice how they move, where their attention goes, and how naturally they respond when they are around you. Those details often reveal emotions that words cannot fully explain. And that is exactly what makes them so powerful. So here is the bigger picture. A man does not always tell you directly when he feels attracted, but his body may quietly reveal pieces of the answer. Notice the way he touches his neck. Watch if his fingers naturally move toward his lips. Pay attention when he smooths his hair or lightly brushes his jaw. Look at how open his hands become while talking with you, and whether they naturally move closer instead of pulling away. See if his hand rests on his chin when he becomes deeply focused on what you are saying. None of these signals should be judged alone, but together they can create a much clearer picture. Many people spend too much time analyzing every text message, while missing the honest clues happening right in front of them. Real connection is often seen before it is spoken. That is why calm observation is so valuable. The woman who notices these small signals without forcing anything often creates the strongest impression, because confidence is attractive on its own. The next time you are together, do not feel the need to fill every quiet moment. Let the silence exist. Watch how he naturally responds when he is simply being himself. Sometimes those peaceful seconds reveal more than a long conversation ever could. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe and join me for the next video where we will explore more simple ways to recognize genuine interest through everyday behavior. Until then, stay confident, stay calm, and remember that real attraction is often revealed in the quiet moments people never expect.